Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome to what will be the GWR stream, the second in a series of 4.
Will it?
Brought out by me, yeah. Well, big FourModelling kind of indicates 4. So tonight I had a hunt around all our presenters and producers and found our biggest Great Western fans. So to my left, I've got... Who have I got?
James.
To my left.
Hello.
James.
I think I'm usually on to your
strong.
left.
Yeah. And also with me we have... Oh, this is going to be a thing now. Just going to ignore me.
Yeah, we're just going to ignore
you. Hello, Charlie. How are you?
Hello. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Already starting strong in the chat as well. Welcome, Billy.
Who have we got in tonight?
Okay, let's have a quick run through as to who we've got. So, of course, we've got Phil, who is the first to arrive.
Right. Always.
Double Engaged Journey has joined us. Evening all. Evening.
Hello.
Josh from Double M. Great Eastern for the win. I think you're in the wrong place, mate.
Yeah, not this stream.
Matt, you are also in the stream. We've got another Matt in the stream as well. Good evening. Thank you for managing to join us. Can't miss this for the world. Thunderblade 989 has joined us as well. Could not miss this one either.
Excellent.
Rob's Rails is here as well. Charlie, you're also there.
I am.
Merlin is here. Is it hot enough for you all? It's actually been really hot here as well today. I mean, the last few days, I think we've had pretty much similar weather conditions, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. I was like a Christmas goose on Monday. Just literally just sitting there, basting in my own sweat.
Oh no! Right. Zach's joined us as well. Good evening. Kaz has joined us live. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, Kaz.
John, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Max, it's too hot. It's too bloody hot. It's ruining everything. Tell it to stop. I'll ask the wife. She might have a phone line to the big man.
Right.
Aaron is joining us. You band of misfits, still crockers here in NZ. Oh, bless you, man. I hope you feel better soon, mate. As I mentioned, Billy from LS, I'm so anti-GWR in every respect, so excuse my distinct bias in the chat. Well, you're going to have to come and join us for the next one, which will be all about the LMS, so there we are.
Yeah.
You, Stania. Mark's Model Railways has also joined us this evening, so thank you very much. Cheers to you all.
Lovely. Okay. So before we get too far into it, what are we drinking tonight? Anyone go first?
After you, Charlie.
I'm having my third can on stream of... Oh, dear, it's not going to work, is it? I'm sticking it in front of my hand.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh, dear. The beer with mango.
Mango
beer.
Okay.
Mango beer, yes. So I'm opening that up now, and I'll enjoy that. It's going to go down very well in this weather. Thank you for the applause.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do I'm gonna try and keep up with Tom's enthusiasm as he produces. So
that might be
whiskey on ice.
Oh, whiskey on ice! That'd be awesome.
Yes. Next week is going to be very whiskey filled. I'll give you that as a pre-warning. Everybody in the chat. Very whiskey filled next week. Max
has just said, "Sing the mango song now, Charlie."
I'm sorry, but I don't know that song.
Okay.
I myself, I have an IPL, so an Indian Pale Lager. So it's a hybrid between an IPA and a lager from the Thirsty Camel Brewery, and I can actually say it's quite nice, although it's quite dark for what I was expecting it to be. And then I've got a regular can of lager for when that one's finished. So, and what about you, Matt? What you want tonight?
Me, I'm in Belgium's finest, Stella.
Stella, have you got an egg stained? Have you got an egg stained white wife beater on you?
Not yet. We'll see how I get through these.
And you shaved your head just to match what you're drinking.
I was going to
Exactly,
say,
yeah.
just to match what he's drinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to go watch
went-
Chelsea play later or something.
I went to a model railway exhibition in Glasgow, and look what happened.
Oh God, came back. Oh no, let's not go
Yes.
Yeah.
there. Evening, Steve. How are you, mate?
Stella, you snob. All right, Aaron.
Snob.
I can't always be like going to the gutter to get the.
Hang on. Well, can we blanket before we blanket over this? Can we understand how drinking Stella makes him a snob?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I know that Aaron's benchmark is quite low, but
Foster's, Stella, Carling, everything else.
And just below
on stream, I'm going to turn up with a bottle of Frosty Jacks.
White lightning. White lightning.
Oh God, that takes me back. So there we are. Let us know what you're drinking in the chat. I will get that thrown up as and when we get through. Oh, as you can see, I haven't got a filter on this week because I've had to sort of clean my office.
Right.
You know, having interviews apparently, and people have to look at your room. So yeah, that's been fun.
Yes.
Oh, my days. Let's move on before
Okay,
Aaron
we
gets full up on Stella, because apparently that's delicacy in New Zealand.
Bless
Okay.
him.
Suppose I should talk about our trip to Glasgow then, shouldn't I?
Yeah, let's do Glasgow quickly, and then we can also
Glasgow
modelling.
was a fun. It's the furthest I've ever been to operate a layout. I have never before got onto an aeroplane and flown to essentially another country, though it's not. It's part of the UK, as it were. To go
As
and play
much as they
trains.
like to think they are.
Yeah, to play trains, but I did that. So I extend thanks to Lyndon, of course, for inviting me out once again to help on his layout. So he and Max, who's been on the stream before, they drove up on Thursday to Scotland with the layout. And on Friday morning, I boarded a British Airways flight to Glasgow. And we went to the Braehead Marina. Now, it's not Model Rail Scotland, it's called the Scottish Festival of Railway Modelling. So we went there, and in company of a couple of other layouts that I also get to operate on. So Westover Quarry, that some of you saw me on at the NEC, was behind us, and there's a GWR layout that you'll see later on called Buckley, which I don't want to give too much away, but it's a lovely layout to operate. So we flew up there on the Friday, and we were there Saturday and Sunday, and then I flew back Monday. So yeah, it was good. Eastfield Depot, the big O gauge layout, was there.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that.
Burnt Island 1885 was there. The layout that won best in show was one called Lockerbie, which was sort of a modern image Scottish layout, as expected. They also had model ships, some of which are radio controlled and have been 3D printed. So I'll send some pictures around the chat. So they've done one of the line of the Queen Mary that they printed in 9 sections, and every section took 2 days to print. It was pretty insane.
Wow.
The standout thing they had on this model ship stand was a radio controlled 3D printed shark, which was really cool.
Okay.
I will send the picture around in a while.
Yeah. Put it in the Discord
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or send it there. That's
really
insane.
Cool. Basically, made a 3D print great white shark, and it could swim. I had loads of iron brew. I skimped on the haggis.
Did you get a deep fried Mars bar?
Yes.
Did you get a deep fried cornetto like Rob wanted you to?
I didn't find one of them, and the guy said we don't do desserts. And kicked me out of the pub. So.
So what? So you operated a few layouts then, but what would you say was your? Could you give us a highlight and a low light?
It's always a highlight to see Eastfield Depot. Being a no gauge modeler, it's insanely large layout, all with sound and DCC.
Watching people stand on that thing is insane.
Yeah, and being in an arena, so where we were, the Brayhead Marina in the winter is an ice rink, and then in the summer they drain it down and have events in there. So being able to go up to sort of the top stalls and look down on the whole layout was amazing. So, you know.
Scott Trails next week, Aaron.
Yeah. The low light really is it's because it's a new show, it could have been busier. There are a couple of things that worked against it. The football being one of them. Celtic in particular had an impact on the Saturday afternoon. But yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to see it a bit busier, but it was a great show. I'd be happy to go back. So
I'm still
I'll get on another plane.
I'm still baffled you flew there.
Well, it was cost. I wanted to go on the Caledonian Sleeper, but I managed to get, so the Caledonian Sleeper was a couple of £100, but I managed to get business class BA flights for £30 return. So
what?
Yeah,
I did.
You got how long was the flight? Like an hour?
Minutes. Yeah.
Christ. 30 quid.
Trust me, I got my 30 quid's worth out of it.
Right, I'm coming next year then. For 30 quid a flight business class, I will happily join you.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was great. Yeah.
There you are. Mark's already asking for space next year.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well then, if you recommend it, we'll definitely try and get there next year. How new is it again? Like, is it like new this year or new like last few years?
Second or third year, but there's as far as I understand, there's another 3 or 4 years planned. So
oh, fantastic. Okay,
it might move location, but we'll see. It's still up for it. If it doesn't, it'll still be at the Brayhead Marina, which is a great location. It's right on the shopping centre. Everything you need, and where we stayed in the hotel was probably 10 minutes walk.
Oh wow, fantastic.
There was a pub right outside. You couldn't go wrong. So
always a danger. Always
yeah,
a danger. No, fantastic. Well,
Max, Lyndon,
glad you had a good one.
Enjoyed themselves, so it was good. And coming up with another stream, we did a celebration of 40 years of Network Southeast, so that was good fun to run.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Well, again, that'll be coming up very soon as well, won't it? So keep your eyes peeled out for that.
Okay.
Amazing. Well, yeah, give us some behind the scenes bits in the Discord. Let us know. We'll get that posted on our socials, up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Get all that shared out.
Yeah, we'll do.
Oh God, it's already starting. We haven't even actually got to the topic yet, and the slander has already begun.
He's on a Friday morning shift or whatever.
He's just
no, he's not working today.
Scott Trail.
He's just upset that I'm forcing him to come on at some point, and he doesn't know it yet. Anyway.
Can't wait to be a keyboard warrior.
So what about modeling? What have we done this week other than play with trains?
I went playing with trains at the weekend, but I have ballasted 8 feet of Coltsford. Yeah,
that's good.
It's quite intense doing it yourself, isn't it? So I wouldn't slowly working. I'm hoping to have it all glued by Saturday.
All of it.
Oh, well, the 8 foot I've done.
Oh, right, the 8 foot. Okay, I was going to say, God.
No.
Calm down.
I'd be impressed if I managed to do a 28 foot scenic section by Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I think we'll get into Colesford a little bit later, because we'll get a little bit of your story when we talk about the modelling. But what about you, Charlie?
I didn't do too much modelling at the weekend because it was too blooming hot. But my sister-in-law has started building an N-gauge layout underneath Hooter's.
Okay.
So there is a small N-gauge setup there being built, and this weekend I'm actually planning to make some alterations to some of the track work. So
Okay.
I'm going to go shopping. Yeah, I'm going shopping for track and changing it. So
okay.
yeah, lots of points to purchase.
Fantastic. What have I been doing this week? I have been doing a lot of 3D design work, actually.
Okay.
So not just for my layout, because I've had to figure out a different way. Basically, the way that I'd set up point work beforehand just wasn't great. This model that I created beforehand that has the servo sitting here and a little linear actuator that moves two individual. So both of the two prongs would sit on either switchblade rail and would move across. It became very fiddly, and the printer had to be so precise to get the holes and everything lined up. It was just way too complicated. And my friend who's building Coventry has finally managed to lay enough track to get round to his first fiddle yard throat. So he's now at the point where he's got about 56 turnouts to build. And he needs to figure out a way of getting it done quickly to be able to, you know, just drop in and drop out stuff. So he asked me to develop a new motor that worked on a motor mount that worked on a fulcrum. So I've been developing a new one.
Okay.
And essentially this sits under a baseboard, the servo sits inside, that way a little thing goes through the hole and acts as a fulcrum with a micro switch on the edge to control the V crossing and the polarity of the V crossing. That's what I'm looking for. See, I need to sleep. So that's what I've been doing this week. Also, while in the background doing some building, which is why you're still not looking at the layout this week. But it's been freaking hot, so I spent a lot more time outside in the shade than I have in here. So yeah.
Blame you.
Yes, Aaron. There is a company called Pico that make track and point work, and yes, I know that's how it is. And shush, we already get that joke. It's becoming dead now. We've got a few of the guys in the chat have told us what they're doing. So John of Elmore has been designing and building conflat L's. Now, if you haven't been checking out his posts on the Clearinghouse Facebook page and the Great Western Modelers Facebook page as well, go and check those out. They look insane. It's a pity that they're conflat L's and they're outside of late 20s and 30s era, otherwise that would just be insane. So props to you, John, for getting those sorted. And after looking at the road tank that you've done and everything, honestly, can you start designing stuff that works for me? We need more stuff. So props to you, mate, honestly. And then Mark is currently on the bench work this week. Is currently on the workbench this week is a double O gauge Harvey from Thomas. So you're doing a crane engine. That's interesting.
Yeah,
don't see those quite often.
Seeing it on Instagram, sort of Mark's updates. See, he's got a great layout, Crofton's Junction, that is great for Tom as well. So building these interesting engines from that world is always nice to see, isn't it? So keep up the good work,
all
Mark.
of these quirky things are great. Aaron has recently bought some more 3D printed kits for his quarry layout, including a quarry office and some more rolling stock. And Thunderblade 989 has been replacing a dead motor in a Bachmann Small Prairie. You should talk to Charlie. Charlie likes Bachmann Small Prairies, don't you?
When they run, yes.
Yeah.
How have I managed to get 3?
I have no idea. No idea. I'm actually bidding on one for 25 quid at the moment, so
okay.
shush.
It'll be fine. I'll let you know what decoder to put in it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, we'll figure that out. Designing an SM32 16mm scale mine tub wagon. Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Zach has started weathering an Akira scale class 37 and acquired an NSE thumper. Oh, okay. Not modelling as such, but Akira scale 37s have turned up in the post and they are fantastic. Yes, I watched Richard at New Junction's video on them earlier today, and I can definitely say they are pretty darn good.
Yeah,
they're lovely.
And then last but not least, I believe here, just going to check this one more time. Yes, so Matt has dismantled 6 locomotives for no reason and left them spread all over the workbench. As you do.
Clever. Clever.
So there we are. That's our modelling for the week. Thank you very much for checking it all out. We love to hear your modelling stories. Let us know more in the Discord. Phil will throw a link up here at some point, but otherwise, I think it's time to move on, don't you think?
I think it's a good time to move on.
I think it's a good time to move on to the news.
Oh.
I don't know what thing he usually plays.
It's a
never
noise.
mind. It's a noise.
Yeah.
That'll do.
I don't know that anyone recently that's got on seen the news and applause.
No. So anyway, this is the news, and we've got a little bit of news this week. Some of it turned up literally 20 minutes before we went live. And then we realised it wasn't news, so I removed it. But no doubt, Max will mention it in the chat because it should definitely be mentioned. So first up, getting this out of the way, Sam's Trains recently announced an Era 1 collection of inspired wagons for your Era 1 models. If that's what you like, head on over to Etsy. There should be some of them left. Apparently they were selling out pretty quickly when they were announced yesterday, so off you go. If you want to understand a little bit of the quality, go and check out my video on the Highland Railway wagon that I bought from him there. Would appreciate a like and a comment on my video on there as well, so appreciate it. Era 1 wagons, guys, any thoughts?
Not really.
No, I suppose it's good to increase the Era 1 collection, but I'm a British Rail / modern image modeler. It's not really for me, but
I think one thing I mentioned today are only the mini coal wagons are left in stock. That's just insane.
Okay.
I think the thing to, well, I mean, they'll be popular with his fan base. I think the thing to remember here is that they are artist impressions, so they're not actual diagrams. They're just based off paintings that he's drawn up and said that these are Era 1 wagons.
Okay.
But yeah, so if that's your thing, go check them out. Otherwise, next, 4Ds Limited have announced a 009 version of the Delta Class 262 tank Bagnall. If this looks like a Vela Rydal tank, that's because they are incredibly similar. But I believe this ran in India and Egypt. So yeah, 262T Bagnall that will fit on a Graham Farish Class 08 chassis. I really like the look of this. And I love that livery, actually. You know, the black, the yellow, and the green. That looks actually pretty damn good. Yes, almost a rail Rydal tank, exactly. So you can go and pick up the body kit for $89.99 over at 4Ds. But they're cranking out some really good stuff recently.
Yes, that's it's a lovely looking loco. I mean, in terms of my train spot in India is high on my to-do list. So seeing something like that would be amazing, even in the flesh. But I'd love to see some more Indian modelling, actually.
Definitely. So Max is saying that this is a Collection X loco. So this is from that band of 50 or so locos that was discovered in somebody's shed. And has recently been moved to Aberystwyth, or at least some of them have been moved to Aberystwyth, if I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's incredible. Wow. Okay. So all the way from India or Egypt to the UK to sit in a shed for 50 years. Incredible. So there you are. 009 Delta class. Go and grab it. Next up, this is now at Statfold. There you are. Okay, so it's now at Statfold Barn. Moving on, Sawyer Models have an exclusive TT127 7-plank NCB red wagon from Pico. So you can only get this from Sawyer Models. 22.95 available from them. I think it looks rather good.
Yeah, it looks all right.
I really like the livery application. Looks great. I'm still a bit iffy on the couplings, but I think a lot of people are starting to replace those from what I understand. But otherwise, I think it looks the part, honestly. A little bit of weathering, and I think you've got a winner there. So something TT120 for everyone. Quickly, before we move on, brief discussion on TT120, because our good friend Chris, Peachy TT120, teased a few days ago, 2 days ago, that there is an announcement coming.
Yeah.
Any speculation, lads? Of the 2 images that he's given us, one of them was a number plate which had 10. Now, given it was 10 days, it could be anything.
Yeah.
But then another number plate of a similar style of the number 9 appeared today. So any speculation as to what Chris might be throwing at us on the 5th of June, which is next Friday. So we'll have another speculation on Thursday next week, of course. But
one day today.
I don't think it will be anything Great Western.
I don't think it'll be anything Great Western.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's some form of diesel.
Really?
Class 60, class 57.
Are you thinking something that will run with the Mark IIs that should have been
Mark IIs potentially, but also the Revolution J&A wagons that have just been announced?
That's very possible. Yes.
That's the only thing. I could be completely off the ball there. You know, it's tiny scale to me, but we'll see. But I agree with Charlie. I don't think it will be Great Western.
No, I would be something standard. I thought something standard to pop into the TT121, because I think that there isn't a BR standard, right?
No, there isn't. No.
So that could be interesting to see pop up.
A standard 5 isn't far from a black 5, but I'm not sure they do it that close.
Well, we'll wait and see. But let us know your guesses in the Discord. Go to the TT120 thread in the Discord, and let's get some speculation going. And tag Chris and get a conversation with Chris going, and see if we can get some juicy stuff out of him. Moving on, NG7, which is a dying race apparently, has got yet another release from Bowater Models. So we've got some Festina Railway coaches. It's a set of 5, but I've only put 3 of these on here because there wasn't 5 individual images. It was all in one thing. So if you want the body only, it will be 50 quid. And if you want to get the bogies and couplings as well, then you're looking at 60 quid each. There is a set of 5, so you can make yourself an NG7 Festina Railway train, a proper passenger set. So there you have it. So head on over to Bowater Models. I think this is fantastic. NG7 is obviously not dying. Yes, now it's just extremely endangered. That's it. We've saved. It is no longer at risk of extinction. It has moved to endangered status.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, go and grab these. Rob, go and buy a few. Please save yourself. But yeah, I'm really happy with these. And some Great Western. We're moving up to gauge 3 for this one. So Matt, can you explain what this is, since you pointed it out to us?
Yeah. So I keep an eye on the larger scale news as well as gauge 1, gauge 3, and they recently had their AGM/show up at the Motor Museum in the Midlands, And Newland 3D have come up with this, which is a Siphon C to go with your Great Western panniers, no doubt.
That's interesting.
Yeah, if you don't know much about gauge tree, the width of the rails is 2.5 inches.
Okay.
So it's probably twice the size of O gauge. I have a gauge 3 Mark 1. It's the size of my cupboard in length.
You could live in it.
because we know what the size of your cupboard is.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a standard 3-door cupboard, but the coach sits on top of it. I'll talk more about them later, actually.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
It's a Mark 1, and it's huge. So yeah, if you're into your larger scales and you like Great Western Siphon Cs, which are 4-wheelers, then go and get one of these.
They're 2 axles, yeah. So you're looking at £300 for the kit.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a middle price of, I believe, £400 for ready to run, and then £460 there's another option, and I don't know what comes as the other option.
Is that the built and painted model?
I think that's the built painted. I think that's like the full Monty. So it's $300 just for the kit, $400 for ready built, but you still have to paint it, and then $460 if you want it ready to go. Yes, Billy, I wholeheartedly agree. Somebody needs to make a ready to run Siphon C. I think there's a kit available in 00.
I think there is a kit, because I've got a 00 gauge monster somewhere.
That's Ian Kirk, I believe. So there's probably an Ian Kirk one out there. But yeah, so Siphon C for your gauge 3 Garden Railway, if that's what you have. And then last thing that cropped up earlier today, Model U announced that they missed off a passenger pack from their recent upgrades, from their recent announcements, sorry. So there is a passenger pack E for 1995. Sorry, one quick one here. So John is saying it's a Shire Scenes kit. So I'm going to go to eBay. Sits on a ratio 4-wheel chassis. Oh, hang on. You mean one of these?
Oh yeah.
James is like, well, I'm off the stream now.
That's it. I'm going to eBay. Bye. So you've got 5 sitting passengers here to sit on your benches, on your benches or inside your stock. But they're marketing it as you get 6 figures for the price of 5 because there is a child, which I think is fantastic. So there we are. So
children always go free. In today's world.
No, Aaron. There's a reason we do it live, and that's because it's not scripted.
Get back in the box.
And back in your box, boy.
Shunting Yard news.
Yes, so we have some news this week. We're introducing, and this is, if you can spot the mistake I made this week, I realized it after I gave it to the lads to send out, and they did the Instagram post, and we did the YouTube post and the Facebook post. There's a team missing from introducing, and nobody has mentioned it in the comments.
Introducing.
So yeah, introducing. Yeah, it's supposed to be introducing question of the month. So we have decided that we want to create a community-based monthly stream where we will ask a question of the month. It will be a rather, a lengthy question, and we want to hear your feedback. There is a Google form which I will make sure is sent out in social media and added to the description later on. But essentially, we'll ask a question every month. You will then you can go to the Google Forms link, and then you can provide your responses there. And then on a monthly basis, we'll go through not only your answers and discuss your answers, but we'll also go through our answers as to which host is there. So this month's question is, what structural, scale, or operational changes would you make if you could start your layout completely over from scratch? So head on over. I'm going to find that Google Forms link. and I will get that put in the chat as well, so you guys can get responder link, shorten copy. There you go. Whether or not that works, so head on over to the Google Forms. Yeah, the table was sketchy as heck. Let's not talk about the table, Matt. Thank you for pointing that out. So yeah, please get your responses in, and I believe we have this scheduled for the end of June. So the last Thursday of June is when we'll be doing this, and we will aim to be doing it the last Thursday of every month. So keep an eye out for those. And that's your lot this week.
Okay.
That's your lot.
So
20 minutes of news, not that bad.
All right. Shall we? Shall we talk about 460s?
I mean, which 460s?
I don't know.
There are many
And your
460s.
tracks.
so many.
Apparently, they all look the same.
They do, yeah.
I've only got
All the
one.
GWR ever did was 460s, apparently.
I've realised I have only one 460. I need more.
You
I'm
do.
letting the side down.
What's going on?
Oh no!
No
I've
track.
got more
ones,
280s.
Just like
Yeah.
Panniers with a tender. Anyway,
We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
we'll get there. We'll get there. Take
Yeah.
it away, Matt.
So let's go for it. So I thought we'd start to do, as part of our big four, we'd look at GWR as the second one. So I know you guys are keen GWR modelers. I dabble in quite a bit of GWR and sort of the BR Western region. So I thought we'd take a look, go through it, and start with it. So should we bring up the first slides? We can
Yeah.
sort of have a formal chat about it.
While I was going through and figuring out how we wanted to represent and how we wanted to talk about Great Western modelling, of course we reached out and we got a few pictures from us, the hosts, and I went through and picked out a few images of some other layouts and things like that. So I thought we could talk about narrow gauge modelling, because a lot of Great Western is all, of course, it's 4mm, 7mm, and it's all mainline modelling, but it's not very often you see a dedicated Great Western narrow gauge line. The best GWR operated railway. So there were a few Great Western absorbed narrow gauge railways. So to name the biggest ones, you've got obviously the Vale of Rheidol, you have Corish, which I don't remember. I cannot for the life of me pronounce the first word that actually goes in front of Corish, so somebody please pronunciate that in the chat, and Charlie can butcher it. And then you have the Glyn Valley Tramway as well. So this is what's pictured here. So this is a model of St Mary's by a modeler called Julian Everson, and it captures an aspect of the Glyn Valley Tramway, from what I understand. Absolutely beautiful model. I really like this locomotive as well. It's Corris, not Corish. You've been watching too. Yeah, I know. Leave me alone, Max. What's the first word? Tell me the first word. Yeah, where was I? It's typical Great Western locomotive with a lovely tramway coach. What Max said. Oh my days, Dan is here. Hi Dan.
Oh,
I knew you were lurking. But it's a difficult. I mean, it's a difficult subject to go around. Yeah, sorry, wrong word. I've already derailed it just by talking about narrow gauge. I'm not a narrow gauge guy. Can you tell?
oh,
Did they not?
Oh dear.
Did they not? Then my research is telling me nothing, telling me wrong. See, I told you I don't do narrow gauge. We have a narrow gauge guy for that, and he's not here.
No.
Also, Dan is saying that I ignored his last message, and I'm trying to find it. Anyway, what do you guys know about narrow gauge lines? Don't drop me in here.
I knew about the
That's,
Vale of Rydal.
that's the other one I was thinking of.
Well, I knew about the Vale of Rydal, and that's really about as much as it extends. Like you, I'm into my standard gauge and so on. So any support from the chat would be appreciated.
No, well, the Vale of Rydal was what? Aberystwyth to Devil's Bridge.
Right.
With the Vale of Rydal tanks that are coming up from Revolution trains, which we're still waiting for damn information on. That will be the first foray I will ever have into narrow gauge, let alone Great Western narrow gauge. Although I am severely tempted. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I was thinking that. Memory from my childhood.
Then I need to double check the key model word article that I read.
Right. Okay.
Because obviously the information that I got from there was completely wrong. Google
It does have those sort of Welsh pool vibes from what I can remember. Very vivid memory when I was in my primary school years. We had a primary school trip to the Welsh pool and Nautical Railway. It's very nice.
There's a reason I put narrow gauge first. It's to get all the shit information out of the way that I don't know about, and then we can move on to the stuff that I still don't know about. Also, Dan, I apologize if I completely missed a comment that you made earlier. I have scrolled through the entire damn chat and I can't find it, so I am very sorry, mate. Really, I am. Anyway, moving on. I did put a picture of a Glyn Valley tramway here as well from Ron Fisher because I liked the picture of the model. Whether or not it's Great West or not is now beside the point. And then, of course, you have Aberystwyth, which if I was going to build a narrow gauge terminus, it would probably be Aberystwyth because I like the idea of having a terminus with both narrow gauge and mainline. And I would probably do it modern image. Because it's still there.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a 158 coming in now and again.
Exactly, which is probably my favourite, not modern, but modern locomotive, or DMU if you want to be pedantic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to... right, you guys talk for a second. I've got to try and find this comment. And then for some reason I moved on to double O gauge into 4 mil scale,
safe zone,
into a safe zone, but it was more like to talk about branch lines.
Yes.
Because the biggest, I think when you read on where do people start with Great Western modeling, it's always the BLT.
Agreed.
It's always the Great Western branch line terminus because
I do.
A lot of people say copy paste.
I do think the Titfield Thunderbolt helps with that.
Really?
Yeah, I think you see it on TV, and you've got the 14XXs, running up a branch line towards that mainline station, and they go, actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea to model. You don't necessarily need Lion, but you could have a 14 in an auto coach, a pannier, so on. And you start to look into it.
Well, that's a staple, isn't it?
I think that I really believe that Titfield Thunderbolt has a big influence on a lot of people to do a branch line terminus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say that's sort of where my inspiration came in, and I sort of looked at it and thought I probably want to do something like a branch line terminus. It's probably what I have the space for. And you can see there's so much reference material about it. There's so many layouts that you can just go out and pick and choose, and it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be real. It can be fictional, but it can still look real because it just works. And then I decided, no, that's not for me. I need to do things the difficult way, and here we are.
I equally had been going to a lot of shows, and every time I go to a show, I saw a Great Western branch line terminus, and I was like, if I'm going to do a layout, it's not going to be a double O, and I'm definitely not doing a terminus. So that then put me onto the research of looking at secondary main lines and the bits.
Max has got you here.
Well, it's true, but we're talking about a film.
This is true. Yes, Ashburton. Ashburton is one of the first ones that comes to mind when I think of, and of course Elmore. Elmore. The character as well. It's also, I find, familiarity.
Yeah.
You're always going to see the similar style buildings, the similar structure, the similar layouts. You've got the similar stock that's always, so it's small prairies, panniers, auto coaches, just I think overdone and used as first layouts. Because I think it's a lot of go back to there's an awful lot of reference material that people can, people coming in that want to do their first layout that isn't a roundy out of a train set.
Yes.
There's enough out there from the likes of Pico, for example, or Ratio, all of these kits that are available that you can just go out and buy off the shelf. I know there are some for others as well, but there is an abundance of Great Western stuff that you can just go and put it all together in almost any order, and it will just look right.
Yes.
At least that's my understanding of it. You can take Great Western stuff from all over the place, throw it together, and it will look right.
Yeah, agree.
And maybe that's the argument with the, with the 460s, everything looking the same. Is it just looks the part. There you are. See, West Bay Station, which was a Great Western terminus. See, there you are. Station building kit scene in the tip. Max is doing his marketing here, people. He's marketing. Go buy Pico.
He's pitching you an idea to build a branch line terminus.
Yes, he is. So, I mean, there's an instant bit of regret here for me as well, because I do wish I'd just gone out and built a terminus and, done that standardization thing, picked up those kits that would have just fit the thing and just got on with it. And the first two layouts I designed were termini. With runaround loops, enough space for a prairie and a B set with a wagon on the end. Just because that's the quintessential thing, isn't it? The quintessential train you expect on a Great Western branch line is 2 to 3 coaches and a cattle wagon, or 2 to 3 coaches and a milk van, or a milk tanker, or something like that. Short goods. Kingsbridge is a terminus, and it's on the list. But it was to be able to build Kingsbridge to scale. You saw at the Bristol show how much space you need to build Kingsbridge to scale. Yes, but rail motors weren't everywhere. But yes, rail motors. It's so hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Grab yourself a Stella, Max. Grab yourself a Stella.
Grab yourself a Stella. No, it would not be the first time. It would not be. But yes, so standardization is king. But they were in the good era. Well, so that's the other thing that I think is so appealing for Great Western. And after, spending some time while getting back into the hobby, doing more research, is the span of it. And I'll move on to the next slide that I have here, which is broad gauge.
Okay.
So there is broad gauge modeling for Great Western. So there are Martin Finney kits or Finney 7 kits. So you have the Rover 442. And then underneath I found a typical train, which is a Waverley class 440 Rob Roy, and a few carriages and things, just so you can see what kind of stuff you can make up. And there were kits available for these. Not sure how readily available they are now. My guess is they may be some rocking horse doo-doo. But there are kits available for 7mm broad gauge modeling. Yes, broad gauge is pretty freaking cool. It pretty is freaking cool.
Yes, it is.
Newman Miniatures does
So-
end gauge broad gauge stuff. Really? Carry on with what you were saying.
I was going to say at the society I used to be the vice chairman, the Slough Society, we've got a static model of a dual gauge wooden GWR sort of bridge scene. So it's got standard and broad gauge.
All right.
One end we have a pannier, and at the other end we have a broad gauge engine to show the difference.
Okay.
And that's double O gauge. I will endeavour.
Double O.
Yeah, it's double O gauge, broad gauge. I will endeavour to put a picture in the Discord.
Yeah, please do.
Pictures of it somewhere.
Please do. Pete, can you? I just checked on a website that was advertising Newman Miniatures, and I'll do a bit more research later. But if you can you reach out to us on social or hit the email or Discord and just give us a bit more information on that? Because I'm very interested to find that out.
Equally, the Broad Gauge Society
Yes,
have
there's
a
also
modelling
Broad Gauge
shop.
Society.
They have a modelling shop. You can buy kits in both 4mm, 7mm.
But to me, I just find it fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, just they had to be different. Sign me up. Beer and pub that overlooks railway.
Oh wow!
Look for my email, Peter.
We'll have to go. We'll have to go there. Do a
We'll
live
have to do it
stream
live.
project.
We'll have to do it
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Shunting Yard on tour.
So I also pulled up these two. So you've got an Iron Duke and then another one of the Rover class. But so these are Finny kits, and you cannot. These are absolutely
Insane,
gorgeous models.
Yeah, they are.
Like absolutely stunning.
Whether
But 7mm.
Whether you have it at home or at a show, it's going to pull in a crowd because they're so different.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's
Look at all that
so
brass.
different to anything that you would have seen. And I believe Didcot still has some broad gauge track.
They have the engines too, but they're not in Steam. Someone needs
Yes.
to overhaul them.
So I think that in itself would be interesting to see in the real world. Can't talk about broad gauge modelling and not talk about the Swindon Refreshment Room coffee pot. Wait, what? Dan, you're gonna have to tell me off in WhatsApp or something after, because you're going right over my head with that one. But please, yeah. The Iron Duke is a J94. Well, yeah, that's the latest one, right? The newest one, right? So quickly want to move. So broad gauge is still there. There is still around. I know there's a double O gauge model, but I couldn't find out which one it was. The parlor exhibition layout is awesome, showing off broad gauge. It's definitely one thing I would like to see more of. And speaking of, there is a company. So yes,
Right.
Matt, I have seen the Double OB project, and I have not put money on it. We're gonna have to have a long chat. Anyway, so there is project.
Like
There
you're in
is.
detention, James.
Oh, I'm in detention. I'm in big detention. But moving back to Colf, and there's a reason I added the Colf Rail Company here, is because I'm still fascinated by it, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around how they're working, what their expectations are, and what we can actually, what they can actually produce. But yes, so there is broad gauge supposedly coming from the Carl Farrell company, Project 00B. So 4mm scale broad gauge. And they have an Iron Duke that they're expecting to turn up. And we discussed this a few months ago when these pictures were released. I believe these were taken at the NEC in November last year. And there have been a lot of comments made about the quality and the disproportions and things like that. So curious to get your guys' thoughts on this. And you in the chat as well. I really want to understand.
I think it's a nice idea. Obviously, it's working on normal 00 gauge track though. So, what does that? If you want to have a dual gauge, what does that make your standard gauge loco? But if you're doing it, I suppose, as a focused broad gauge, it'd be all right. But it's new, so is the quality expected to be the best? There's still a lot of learning to do, I would guess, with a new company. So we'll give it a chance.
Well, yeah. So I'm definitely willing to give them a chance. Whether or not I'm willing to hand my money over for a project is different, considering what's available.
Yes.
I'd love to see it be delivered, or see an engineering sample or something like that. I think that is essential for projects like this, because I think having ready to run broad gauge would be incredible, but there must be a reason it hasn't been done yet.
It's a very niche thing.
It's a niche thing, and if you're building something like a transfer shed between the gauges, if this is designed to work on 00, as I said, what do you then need to do to have?
But it's not designed to work on 00 as in the track gauge 006. You know, it's its own gauge of track, but in 4mm scale.
They've got a piece of it there in the photo.
Yeah, okay. So it's widened. So it's widened gauge. So it's broad gauge track down to 4mm to the foot scale.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense then.
Yes.
That would get more of my attention, because I kind of wrote it off because it was just track, you know. Okay. Well, we'll see.
Max is right here. Thank you,
brave, isn't it, to stick with your head above the parapet and do something like this. But credit to people that are doing it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's brave. I think it's a good idea as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening. But they seem to be struggling with finances, so if it's something you want to see, go and check it out. But I would like to see a few more. I would like to see a few more appearances at shows and things, a little bit more.
Yes.
You know, a little bit more discussion, a little bit more topic on them. Hopefully, I'll get an email response.
Fingers crossed.
So let's move on. There's also a lot of. We move on to 7mm. You know, you can see I'm trying to get through the thing. So this is your era, Matt. So
yes, it is.
Let's talk about 7mm.
Layout well known to me as well. So
I think this might be my favourite 7mm layout. Actually,
yeah, this is owned by a chap who's at the Maidenhead Model Railway Club. Well, Maidenhead in Marlow, I think it is. And yes, so it's kind of indoor roundhouse and is having an extension built at the moment.
Oh,
if you follow it, yeah. So they're doing a Didcot shed style layout to extend onto it at this moment. So if you follow their Facebook page, because there is a Facebook page for this layout, you do get updates. But this is just a wonderful layout. All the different types of Great Western loco. You do have to allow for some southern in it as well, though. But the panniers, the kings, so on. It's just really just a nice layout. You can spend hours just watching trains jump back and forth, or locos. And
I just
new kit.
I can't get over the scale of it and the amount of
Yeah.
detail that's in the size of it, the coaling stage. And I think the
Mhm.
the roundhouse, the cutout of the roundhouse and seeing the turntable and everything, it's one of those layouts I really want to be able to stare at for hours in person.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, absolutely. It is a wonderful layout, and I've had the opportunity to stare at this for hours, and it is just a great layout. So,
have you seen this layout, Charlie?
I'm
In
trying
person?
to recall if I've seen it. I may have, but look, I mean, just looking at that blue king, I'm just like, oh, I need to see it.
yeah.
Oof.
I'm not sure. The owner's son is a good friend of Zach, actually. So I have to find out. There's a possibility it's going to the NEC in November. I can't remember though, off the top of my head. And
But it
what
looks
they've been
really
building.
good. I'd really like to see the kings and the larger GWR locomotives and O gauges. Just
and
they look.
It's
a number of them are
brilliant.
kit. A lot of them are kit built.
Yeah, and I think that's the intimidating thing I find with O gauge is, as much as I love that you can go to Dapol and grab your Pania and your 48s, your 14s. You can get your small prairies now. There are a few larger ready to runs. But if you want to get yourself a king, if you want to get yourself your castle or something like that, you've still got to go kit built.
Yeah.
And that really discourages me, because as much as I would love to just have little tank engines running around, it's something else to just have that king or that castle
or even a manor.
Or even a manor, or even a mogul.
They are.
Although you can get a mogul,
let
right?
you in kind of certain on this one. They are building a grange for the layout.
They're building a grange.
Kit built grange. Yeah.
I do love a grange.
Yes.
I think as well with all the brass on it as well, with the brass work on it, you can't just piece it together and hope for the best. You've got to do it, an element of finesse to it, because if it doesn't have that finesse that some Great Western locos have.
Having kit built locos in both double O and O, you have to have a patience of a saint with solder, and know that sometimes you might actually put in a solder weld in, not necessarily a solder joint.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing that puts me off with kit building at the moment, is because I'm still not that decent with soldering iron. I have a 4mm kit that I'm going to reach down for.
Right.
Of an AA1 Toad that I bought 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a Falcon brass. It's a Falcon Works brass kit, and I bought this for the princely sum of £22 on eBay. Which, going by what I've seen some of these go for recently, was an absolute freaking steal.
It was. So
but I can't bring myself to start it, because I am so worried about ruining it.
Yeah, so I'm currently seeking advice on my Night Owl, because obviously, as I showed you earlier in the year, there's some slight quality issues with build. However, it's not a kit; it was built off drawings. So I'm now working with an engineer, to do sort of remodel the boiler with the drawings. So it's happening, but very slowly.
Dan is saying there are ready to run kings.
There will be a night owl.
So Dan, let me reiterate here. So I know that there are ready to run O gauge models. We were talking with Jonathan last week about 55H models do limited runs and things like that. So I'm assuming there are similar cases, of course, for Great Western locomotives like the King, Castle Hall, etc. But there aren't any, from what I understand, mainstream O gauge builders. So I'm talking Dapol, where you go and get your your O gauge, your staple O gauge locomotives.
Mm.
You know, the ones that are building the diesels, they're building the smaller tanks and things like that. You know,
Yeah,
they're not
Hellion
building the bigger
had to go
models.
with the mogul, but it didn't.
They had to go with the mogul.
Yeah.
So I understand there are ready to run, but from what I understand is they are ready to run as in they're manufactured in smaller, they're smaller batches of limited quantities, and usually one run, not done again.
Yeah.
The privileged club, as they say. Yeah, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Well, yeah. So I have to say O gauge mainstream because it's that if you have to ask, you can't afford it mentality. You know, I listening to Jonathan last week and seeing some of his mentions on the 55H model stuff. What you're looking at $2,000 for a locomotive. Like that's an insane amount of money for a 1 of 80 locomotive or a 1 of 55 or whatever, you know, locomotive. So it's just I think that's where the disparity is for me. I mean, you're talking to someone who, you know, I worry about spending £5 on a freaking sandwich, you know. So it's all about different mentalities for me. But it's still a dream. It's still a dream.
Mm.
Yeah, so tender locomotives. You're looking at the Black 5, which is an absolutely amazing model.
Black 5.
I want it made. Yes, of course, I want it made in China. Come on. So yeah. Anyway, this is Old Elms Park, probably top of the range. And then, so Matt, do you want to explain these three as well? So this is gauge 3.
This is gauge 3. So this is Eddie from Kippo Models. He built a gauge 3 garden railway, and the Prairie is a garden railway supplies kit model, and I believe the hull he 3D printed.
Okay.
The Mark 1s that you see there are also a kit that you can buy from Kippo Models. I talked about these earlier. I've got a break at the moment. I may get one, and they were.
I may get one.
I may get one more. They are available for £175 as a kit, but you then have to factor in some further money to get the bogies. But they are insane. So if you wanted a Great Western Garden Railway that isn't O gauge, you can go gauge 3. And Kippo Models do a number of buildings, and they were doing coaches and looking at diesels. Again, I had a brief chat with Eddie last weekend in Scotland because he was there trading, and he does a number of scales. So kippomodels.com.
Here I am worrying about O gauge prices.
Yeah.
And you throw gauge 3 in my face. I mean, that looks insane. Like, it looks really good. That Prairie, for example, is just
Yeah. And what you're finding is, I mean, let's have a look. Garden Railway Supplies, right? I'm going to go on their website now and tell you what their pannier is.
Oh, don't. Is it $2,500?
No.
No,
it's not. Got to find it.
20% of your pension.
It's not that.
20% of your pension monthly from the age of 65. So before you can even get your pension.
Kits. So it's 64mm. They go for £749 for a pannier.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you can, comparative to a DCC Sound O gauge loco, it's not that bad.
Evening, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us. You're joining us at the expensive part of the stream.
Yeah. But equally, what I found where I look at gauge 3 stuff and so on, and it's been talked about here, is quite a number of people are 3D printing locomotives now, which brings the cost right down, and motorizing themselves.
Sorry, I have to highlight this comment.
Right. We derailed.
Well, no. Dan is derailing for some reason.
Right.
But no, I like the lure of the larger scales. I'd be lying if I said that having a larger garden and having the space to do things is now making my brain go, you could probably do that. But alas, my wallet
Yeah. I think I
is
would
telling me otherwise.
love at some point to build a branch line terminus in gauge 3.
A BLT in gauge 3 would be
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
pretty damn cool.
It would. There's something.
God, there's my money.
and radio control everything rather than DCC down the track. It'd be great fun, I think. So
It
Matt's
is, but
next
I
layout.
do like these. I do. Yeah, Matt's next layout after the O gauge one and the double O gauge one.
Double
he's been
gauge one,
building
yeah.
anyway.
It's going to be a gauge
But-
3.
Right, Charlie, your turn to talk.
Yes.
You sent us some photos from a friend of yours layout. So can you explain to us, about the name of their layout, because I'm not going to butcher it. And some of the photos that I've got here. So I've got 3 slides of photos that you sent me. So we'll
Yeah.
go through those.
So I gave my friend Dan his layout, Dove in Gwent, a shout out a few weeks ago. Very much a Great Western man. He's got like standards as well, but he's got a bit of everything. He's not quite as much of a tart as me that just have whatever he wants. He's quite selective, but he's in fairness to him, he's built a absolutely brilliant layout. And the second shot there on the right is actually a little scene that he made with the shed, water tower. I think it's only about 4 foot long. I think it's not huge.
Okay.
But it's really nice. Like you were saying, you can just put Great Western things in an area, and it just works.
It just works.
It just works. And that logo, I mean, it's a backman small prairie, which is the tooling on it's quite dated, etc. But the finish on it really does capture that Great Western-esque and finesse.
I do like the 4575s with the roundels.
Yeah.
It does really good, and
They
his
do
layout.
look the part.
It's still under construction, but the station area is very much like we were saying. It's branch line terminus, which he's done a fantastic job with. He's got a shed, good shed, 2 platforms, run round. Now he's building some exchange sidings at the other end of the layout, so then he can bring things in, bring them out, do some shunting that end. So it's quite an intensive little layout, which you can actually have 2 people operating on DC. So you can see there
he's
he's
got a class 20 in what is that? BR rail? Is that rail freight or
no? It's weathered green.
Oh, it's green. Okay, right.
Yeah, it's green. He set up. He went, "Oh shit! There's a class 20."
Well, it's not just there's the class 20. It's there's a scrapped reserved locomotive sat on the siding.
So he's gone very much for the sort of like heritage railway scene.
Yes.
You can see that. The photographers are not interested in the trains because there's a shirtless man outside a police box.
Oh, okay.
So that's quite an interesting feature of the layout. But I mean, you can just see there on the platforms that he's actually used. I think it's a Metcalf kit, the individual paving slabs, and he did all that.
Oh, right, okay.
Each one.
My days.
And then he got about partway through it and was like, "I'm not doing this. I can't do this anymore." I said, "Well, I suppose you could get away with like a patchwork platform." And he went, "No. It's got to be uniformed. It's got to be finished."
And I thought I was a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, he literally punished himself doing those platforms.
God, okay. I'll have to have a chat with him then. No, I really like this. I think this is what gets me, was this vibe, the chocolate and cream, the cream of the buildings, just everything that it just fits. I don't know. I find a lot of the railway companies, like all of everything looks different. from
Yeah.
place to place. You go down to the next station, and it looks too different. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. Being, as you know, I grew up near the Severn Valley Railway. I actually grew up in a little town called Much Wenlock, and the station there still exists. It's a private residence now, but it's got that same kind of vibe as Bridge North and the other stations on the Severn Valley, and it's really nice. But yeah, I've seen Dovin Gwent quite a few times. The fact that he's gone out of his way to get custom station name boards done.
That's amazing. Yeah.
He's even done the posters on the railings.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And the signals, they actually operate. They're the DAPO signals, so they all work.
Did somebody crash into that lamppost?
I think may have been in frustration with the slabs. It's just like, God damn it!
Yeah.
So what has he got there? He's got Hagley Hall, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's also got 9400, which I've got.
So
as
this
well.
is we're blocking the naked man in front of a police box here as well. But
Yeah,
again,
it's
you know,
in
you've
a
got
way.
that cream. You know, you've got that the multi different shades of brown on the signal box, with the green of the Great Western. It just fits.
It
I
does.
can't
It's really
not
good.
I can't not love it. And then you've got the later pannier there as well with I really like this shot. You know, the depth of field, the blurriness of the buffers. I really like this shot, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, actually, having photographed on his layout as well, there's so many angles that you can get of different locos and different positions. You can almost create that illusion of something much bigger than it is, in the sense of like just the scale of what he's done. I'm going to say it's not a huge layout, it's not massive, but when you get the camera up close and you can get it in between some platform railings and the goods shed, or just peering through into the platform, and I think he's got a canopy up on platform, and just for me anyway, seeing the 9400 pannier tank on a layout, I mean, I think they're overlooked quite often on layouts.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they did come in a bit late.
Well, they did, yes. But I mean, I suppose for someone like Matt, for example, likes to do sort of like the secondary main lines, you probably see one on station pilot duties. Although I know they did get about quite a bit on various other duties, as well as empty stock movements and things, which is I know what they were originally designed for.
Oh, it's completely out of my remit, and also it's probably too heavy.
Yeah,
for my branch.
There is.
But I'll definitely have one at some point.
There is potential because on my layout, you could have a set of coaches or wagons being taken between Reading and Oxford.
Yeah.
So there's potential there for one of them. But I'll keep my eyes peeled.
So, but yeah, I mean, absolutely beautiful layout. Thank you for sharing these, honestly, and you can pass on our thanks for having this shared out. Now, before we move on to Matt's photos, and we can get some information, some behind the scenes information from him, I want to ask the chat. So we've had quite a few models over the last few years for Great Western 4mm scale modelling released. But I want to know what else you guys want. So what Great Western stuff that hasn't been released do you guys want to see over the coming years? And who would you prefer to make it? Charlie and Matt can probably guess what mine is. But have a think about that, and when we get to the end of our slides, we'll go back through some of those questions or some of those answers. So, Matt, do you want to explain to us one of your two ongoing projects?
Two ongoing. So this is the double O cage layout, which is again is a fairly large station somewhere in the West Country. And these are some of the trains that I've gained. So the closest one you can see with a castle on it is is building up to be a replica post service between Paddington and Penzance. So as James now knows, I have the coach formations for the post service. And much like you, I need some full brakes now that are in period.
Call it
But
full
we'll settle
brakes
for some weathered Hawksworths
or
for now.
Churchwood, either way.
Yeah, we'll settle for Hawksworths for now. Inside of that, you've got my Duke Dog with a set of Calestery coaches, which I will mix up with the set of top lights that I was forced to order. Then I have to. There's only a few freight wagons. I have to shout out Dibs Shunting Yard, who sold off all of his Great Western wagons and coaches to me.
Really?
So,
I wondered where they went.
Yeah. I bought the entirety one weekend while I was walking my dog.
just straight on it.
He literally said, I've got all of these. And I was like, well, at the same point, the Society's building the Great Western layout. Like,
so you've bought out Dibs and you bought out Zach.
Pretty much.
It's like hostile takeover.
Yeah. And in fact, the B set there at the back is also from Dibs. And I've just stuck a siphon on the back of it with a pannier. So this is mapping out the platforms here. This is purely what I did.
You need a siphon C there.
Yeah.
That siphon G should be on your post train. You need a siphon C on the back of that pannier set.
Yeah. Yeah. However, frustratingly, I had to take one TPO out of the post set to fit it in 8 foot. So it's one coach short at the moment.
Okay.
But I have all the coaches.
So what's the plan? What's the plan for the layout then? How is it going to look?
It's going to take probably the majority of the station will take its features from Taunton, which is quite close to where I was for quite a while. And I have very fond memories, even going back there when I moved up here. Sort of back in the day, I used to get a ticket and with a Coke and a Mars bar, I'd go down there train spotting. So if you've been to Taunton, you know it's still got a number of GWR features. It's got its
yes,
still got like sort of weighing scales, though they're not used on the platform. It's got the roll of honour for the wall. It's got the canopies. All of the water hydrants still say GWR. All the sort of inspection plates, which I thought was quite cool.
Interesting.
So I think that's the plan, and then obviously to paint it brown and put brown lamps on it and so on. It's still very fresh in my mind. There was a consideration this weekend gone that I'd do it in modern image, but actually I'm not sure that I'd be able to cope with it in modern image. So
no.
So yeah, it will be there, and there'll be a number of trains that you would have seen through the GWR period, including post services, which is I have another keen interest in, moving mail by rail.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an interesting rake to set up. I look forward to seeing it actually running around.
Yeah.
What's
absolutely.
the timeline? What timeline have you got on it?
It'll be. I'm going to go full Great Western. I think probably you could get away with running it in BR because they really didn't spend any money on the Western region. They
just went, that'll do.
As it was.
It looked the part and functioned, so they went, we don't need to spend money there. We should fix everywhere else first.
Yeah, let's not waste money on more.
Yeah, I think majority of the time you'll see it, everything will say Great Western on it. And then occasionally when I want to get the ones with crests out, I'll run it with some Mark 1 coaches and so on.
Brilliant. And what about build time? How long? What have you got an aim? Have you got something you want to aim for?
Well, got to get the O gauge layout done first, which we'll talk about in a minute. But because it has it basically has an invite to a show in 2028.
Okay.
So I have to get the O gauge done now. Hence why I'm working so pretty hard on it. But in and around that, there are days where I just need to take a break from that O gauge layout and do something else.
Yeah.
So, and
I
then
understand
once
that.
I get to a point where I'm happy and I've got a fiddle yard to build, then I imagine I'll give myself a year to do the double O gauge one. Yeah.
A juke dog with red frames.
That's
my
why
eyes.
I did it. That's why I did it.
Yeah, I saw a bulldog and I went, hang on, no, this isn't a bulldog. Wait a minute. Yes, that's a juke dog.
Yes, it is a juke dog. It's
3201.
3201 St. Michael. I have a photo of it outside Swindon Works.
Hang on, who painted this?
It was painted by one of my friends, Steve. I did the loco.
Okay.
But it was painted in a particular livery, and I wanted to basically bait everyone.
Because it's red frames with a shirt button.
Yes.
Oh, I can't unsee that now.
No, you can't. But I like it. It's something different.
Different is a word.
Yeah, it's modelling. It's rule 1, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Always rule 1. And this above that, you've got a 48, and this is the bullion.
It's a 14 with a gold bullion van that
bullion van that you bought
just after Christmas.
Yeah.
So interestingly, the gold bullion van, there were 2. One got painted maroon, and the other one, which is the one that's modelled here, maintained its GWR livery right up till it was scrapped in the 50s. It never changed. I don't think it was used on bullion towards the end. It was just a typical secure parcels van. But there is a photo of it going into Birmingham Snow Hill in the late 50s, still with GWR on the side.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly that. And again, being sort of a secondary main line somewhere between Reading and Oxford, Banbury, it allows for a mix of different stock. So this was right up on the street. So yeah, it's one of a few things. I've recently bought a 12-wheel buffet car, Collet buffet car as well.
Ooh.
But I've got a bit of work to do on that. Needs new windows, and I've got to solder one of the wheels back into the bogie.
So talk us through your O gauge layout then. What you've got coming up.
Yeah, I think with the O gauge layout, I got quite bored of seeing lots of BLTs around in the O gauge. Yeah. Which is fine. It's easy. If you're going to do ready to run, you can go buy a load of Mark 1 coaches, a pannier and a prairie, and it'll work. And the rail cars exist. So I've been wanting to do something in O gauge for a while, and I had this abomination of a juke dog. I need to do something with it. So I looked around, and originally I was going to do something again in the West Country, but the more I read on it, the more I decided that the sort of line between Reading and Banbury was quite interesting, because being more in the British Rail side of things, I was like looking at Banbury Shed, and all of a sudden you'd see an A2 on the shed as well, next to a Great Western Hall, which was amazing. So there was all this interesting
As the Stella
pictures. Yeah. It's just, or was it my wife?
Stella, I hardly knew her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, there was a lot of footage, so I was like, well, I'll build a roundy because that's what I want to.
It's a big roundy.
Yeah, so the actual straight section is 28 feet, and then you need your curves, which I have to cater for about another, I think it's 14 foot either way. I think I have to have a 7 foot radius, something like that. So it's about 14 feet. So yeah, shy under 50 feet.
Wow.
but
Okay.
will allow me to run quite a multitude of stock.
And how much have you got done of it now?
So I'm one board short of the scenic section.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And as you've seen, I've started building the platforms. I need
Mhm.
the problem I have at the moment is I need a second person here to use the circular saw, because I'd
Okay.
rather have someone around just in case.
Yeah. Just chop your foot off or something.
Be safe. But the platforms are all measured up and ready to cut.
All right. Okay.
I've also
Wow.
built the entrance bridge at either Fiddle Yard. It would be Tackley or Hayford. It's not quite that far. I have called it Colesford, but it merges parts of Banbury, Culham, and Appleford.
So definite rule 1 there.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't want to build somewhere realistic and as it was, because I like to have a little bit of creativity myself. Okay. So yeah, this is what I'm currently working on.
And so that's due to a show in 2028.
Yeah.
Which show's that?
Well, funnily enough, it's Thornbury.
Thornbury. There you are. So Shunting Yard Live 2028
to be its debut.
Fantastic. Okay. Look forward to that then. Amazing. Okay. Well, look, I look forward to that. Keep us updated on what's coming up. I know Phil sent us a load of other things. I only provided some photos of models that I own because I seem to be a collector rather than a modeler at the moment, because I've spent more time dismantling my layout than apparently building it.
Right.
So I have accumulated, what am I on? 15, 16 different locomotives and nary a place to run them. With only one 460, surprisingly. I'm genuinely amazed, considering, it's always 460s. No, they are not on track. I literally just admitted. I am more of a collector, apparently. So
I thought there was two there on the bottom shelf and the second one up on the right.
I will clarify working.
Right. Okay.
Working 460. Okay. So I do have an earlier model of St. David from the original tooling that doesn't have a motor in it, but I have some nostalgia behind that locomotive and the two Pullman cars, so that will stay in this display forever. I've got an earlier 2800 from Hornby. I've got the Night Owl that I got from Hilton. Go and check out his video. It runs like a bag of freaking nails. I am going to replace the damn motor with a high-level kits motor.
About Night Owls?
And it just doesn't run,
because mine is being redrawn at the moment.
Yeah, they need to Hell Scale need to do another run of these Night Owls and do it properly. Yes. Then I've got King James I, which was a bag of nails when I bought it, but it's much better now. ESU lock sound.
Okay.
Beautiful sound file. The recent Dapol 517, which is this one here, which is an absolutely gorgeous model. Really is a beautiful model. It's a stunning runner. I really want to pick up a sound decoder for this. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. Originally, I was a little bit upset that I picked up 202 in the red frames and didn't pick up the later one with Great Western. Yeah. But after picking this up, seeing it and running it, I'm so happy. The only problem is now is I need to go and get some pre-grouping coaches to run something with it. So there we go. Or some wagons.
I need to clarify for Matt. He said Helian Nuff said, my Night Owl is O gauge and is an engineer's drawing. It's not a kit.
Yes.
It's drawn engineer's drawings. but there's some faults with it, so it's currently away being redrawn.
He's getting one like properly done.
Yes,
Properly done.
for engineering sample.
Interesting. I have the same number of Great Western locos as you do, Dame, but fewer 460s. So you only have one. Yes, just the Night Owl curse. Yes,
It is, yeah. I just,
so then I have my bargain of a jute dog, which cost me 50 quid brand bloody news, DCC fitted. I see that Aaron has noticed the terrier that I have up there. So that is I got a terrier chassis from Rob, and he said he was going to send me the body and never did. And then I finally picked that up at Bristol, but I have a 3D printed Hatfield number 4 or Great Mountain body that is going to sit on that terrier. So the Great Mountain locomotive was absorbed into the Great Western Railway before being moved off to industrial working. So I'm going to model it in its Great Western guise. So it's going to sit on that chassis. I then have a Ruston, the Oxford Rail Dean Goods, which is really really good. 2 large prairies, because you can't not have 2 large prairies. The Bachmann 45, which will soon be replaced hopefully by the Rapido 45 when it's released. The Rapido 44, which is an absolutely beautiful running model.
It is.
Although I am running it with a 1366 pannier sound file in it at the moment. But it really does run smoothly at all speeds. Next to that and slightly cut off is the Curascale Pannier, which is another fantastic model. Although it's stupidly loud out of the box, I did have to make some changes, and I did have some issues with the stay alive at the beginning, but that was it was fixed pretty quickly with a few back and forths and some CV tweaking. And then the staple Bachmann Pannier, which, despite certain YouTubers' comments, there's nothing freaking wrong with them. I want to buy
solid.
more. I'm definitely going to buy more. They're absolutely solid. And then my favourite of the lot, the Baby Pannier, which is... yeah, that's
It's a
not getting
love-hate
to the
relationship.
Pannier. Anyone have a Hellion 1361? That was a regretful purchase. There is a stigma with Hellion... with Hellion locomotives and their reliableness. Let's not get into that, otherwise we'll get accused of bias. I have not put any pictures of the layout because there's no layout at the moment. These 2 boards may look like they have stuff on them. It's literally the underlay. I just haven't taken it off there. The 3rd board, where the track has been completely stripped bare and is in the middle of replanning and relaying. So hopefully soon there is a practice turnout is there, which is built. But I need to do some of the attachments with the updated servos, get that sorted, and then once that's done, Bob will be thy uncle. Has been passed around like... No, it's been to 2 people, mate. It's been to 2 bloody people, all right? Yeah, the Little Western has been closed by beaching. Yes, it has.
I thought Aaron had left twice. He's come back again.
He has. He does that every week. Peter, I wasn't as enamoured with the Akira Scale Pannier as I thought I'd be, considering whether to go back to Bachmann for the next one. So the way I look at it is if you want to spend your money on a few highly detailed models, the Akira Scale Pannier is a highly detailed model.
Yes.
If you want to fill out your fleet, the Bachmann Pannier is a beautiful runner. It's detailed enough that while it's going past, you won't be able to tell the difference. And despite what certain people have said, it is absolute bang for buck still.
And it's not too difficult to sound fit either, really.
And it's not too difficult to sound fit.
And you can you can move away from sugar cube speakers because you can put a small tablet speaker in the cab. on the cab roof, pin it in with some black tack, run some wires through the. It's fine. I've done it, and if I can do it, anyone else can do it.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to mention this because I think we've discussed this beforehand, but am I the only one that didn't actually believe that it was going to turn up in bright green?
No, I believed it wasn't going to turn up in bright green.
I always assumed that it was just going to be numbered 5741 and it was never going to turn up in that horrible green.
They even said it wasn't going to. They even said it wasn't going to.
I thought
so. It's like the disappointment is sort of like, well, if you've actually read and didn't look at the pretty pictures.
No. So I understand the disappointment because they showed a model. They showed a model with a face. You know, they did that whole rigmarole for pre-orders.
Even at shows, they had it in the cabinet.
Even in shows, they had it in the cabinet.
Key model.
Yes, they said it was an error, but they said it was an error, but they showed the error at shows.
Yeah,
they were flaunting the error for sales.
Yeah, because
so I can understand
all the pointless speculation that goes on with announcements these days, where people see something in a photo and go, because they've shown that, it means they're going to do this. It's like, no, it's just you're thinking too far into it.
Yes. John here is saying, for Elmore, for someone who has to convert to EM, I have avoided paying out for the Akira scale. The Bachmann ones are a good chassis and run well. See, there you are. If you need to go to your fine scale modelling, stick to what you know. I thought the newer stuff was all being, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but as far as I'm aware, a lot of the newer stuff that's being brought out is being made so that it should be an easy swap out. At least I know some of the diesel locomotives are. You know, some of the
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You know, I know Cavalex for sure. Their recent models have been like, we've got dropout wheel sets if you want to go and buy those wheel sets instead. You know, so I can't talk for the.
Yeah, we had that with a Siphon G that my brother bought secondhand, and someone had converted it to run on EM. So obviously, trying to put it on 00 track, it just was like, nah.
Yeah.
He's there fighting with it, and he's like, I can't get it on the track. I was like, come here, you daft sod. And I looked at him and went, it's got the wrong wheels on it.
It just doesn't look right.
So that was just a swap out. So
So there we are. My limited Great Western modelling, where I should have probably built a BLT and I ended up making up some place on some random branch line. Maybe I'll do some work. Before we kick off, you mentioned this layout beforehand, and I really like this shot. So just a quick mention of this before we wrap up with some of the answers that for the question that I answered beforehand.
Yeah. So this is an S&D layout that had Great Western engines and stock. It's sort of in BR period. I can't remember its name for the life of me, but I saw it at Doncaster in 2023.
Okay.
And essentially, the loco comes out the fiddle yard, goes into the station. Yes, it could be joint railway. I don't know. We're going to call it S&D.
It's Somerset and Dorset, I believe.
Anyway, the other operator will then bring the pannier on and pilot the engine back out of the station to run up the junction and out through the corner, and you can just really enjoy it.
So this is the reason why I wanted to bring it on. So S&D is not GWR, but did you not? You mentioned this because it had Great Western stock on it.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
So that's why I wanted to mention it, and I wanted to see what the gremlins would be like in the chat. So there we are.
Outraged. Triggered.
How outraged. Okay, so earlier on I asked what you would like to see modelled and who would you like to see it done by. So Thunderblade 989 would like to see an 064 crane pannier tank. Unlikely to happen though. 064?
in a sec.
That's an interesting wheel arrangement. Max wants to see the Welsh pool. Yes, definitely Welsh pool. John, the 3150. Interesting choice. I would have thought Hornby of Dapple would have done that by now, considering they've both done the large prairies. I very, very surprised that hasn't been done already. So yeah, I completely understand that. Moving forward, get rid of those. La France, I'm in the boat here. La France needs to be done, and it needs to be done by Rapido and only Rapido, and I will die on that hill. Dan, I'm sure you're constantly going, no, do this, please. Let me do this.
Make this now.
We've got a retooled county 440. So this is the county I thought Rapido were going to do. And then they did the 460 version, which I really don't like. Pre-grouping, so Bulldogs, Atbaras, the Dean era stuff.
Yeah.
I would love to see an Armstrong goods.
Yeah.
The Armstrong goods is a gorgeous locomotive, and I would love to see that in ready to run. Rapido, looking at you there. A rerun of the City class with updated tooling.
Yes, that would be good.
With red frames is what Phil wants. We already know that. New version of the Hornby 101, so that's the Holden tank, which actually is based off
It was a real
an actual loco, so it would be nice to see that actually like
I'd like to see
a
high detail version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, two spec Holden would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And Atbara would be terrible. Oh no. Decent night owl, yes please. Decent night owl.
Absolutely.
The crane panniers, new tooled collet goods.
Yeah, that needs to be done.
Needs to be done.
New tool collet goods. I mean, how old is the Backman tooling?
Probably older than me.
Older than Zach for sure.
Oh, definitely older than Zach.
Great Bear is definitely a ready to run, but I think it's a little bit too niche. That's definitely something that maybe KR Models would take up, and I'm not sure we would be delighted with that. Bulldog, would be interesting. Yeah, I know that there is a gentleman who does some Bulldog resin printed chassis or resin printed bodies. Sorry for the Bulldog chassis. So
yeah, I've seen them.
The MSWJR 240. That's definitely so that's an absorbed. So that's an interesting thought. Would be interesting to see. A Mogul with a collet cab.
Backman did one of those.
I'd like to see some of their Welsh logos.
Port Talbot saddle tank.
Yeah, the 813s.
Yeah, please.
813. GWI number 13. We've done that, and then a Buffalo. I think a Buffalo is definitely another one that is for something from there. What about you, lads? Matt, what do you want to see?
It's hard to say. There's so much out there. I agree with Phil. I'd quite like to get my hands on the City of Truro with red frames.
Yeah.
More to bait people with some pictures I've shown you all. And some more sort of unique wagons, not just kits. Like we talked about the Monster and the Siphon C. A few things like that. A bit more to just mix it up.
I'd love to see a ready-to-run Monster. I really would.
I've got...
but again, I'm not sure.
I've got a Siphon H. And I've got a TPO.
Obviously, Dan, people aren't looking for that. I, on the other hand, was going to mention a Great Western Atlantic like La France or the Scots or Stars, because I think Atlantics are freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
I think for me,
Yeah.
it's the full brakes. It's the full brakes. I think that
Yeah.
they are the biggest thing that is missing.
I could have said that, but I was going to let you have your moment.
As much as I love that Dapo are doing the top lights and you know, I want Bachmann to increase their range and put a full brake in.
Instead of another corridor.
Instead of another corridor, give me the damn full brake, please.
If they
I
do,
want to model my milk train.
if they do bring full brakes in, I will make another post set. So I've got one in either direction.
Exactly. But also for me, I think the 813, it's an icon, it's an iconic preserved locomotive. I think that needs to be done. Great Bear, the Atlantics. There are so many to choose from. And with some luck, Rapido will do us proud. To be fair, the one GWR thing I want the most is Churchwood top lights, but even Dapo are leaving us in stasis currently. Yeah,
Pre-orders
in. Get your pre-orders in. I've got at least a 6 cut. I've got a six coach set of pre-order.
Yeah, I've got 10.
Right.
I've got 10
right
now.
Or Bachmann with their collet coaches, they could have had a full break for those.
Updated centenaries. Yeah. Updated centenaries is a good one. A new tooled Grange.
It's recently tooled, but you could do with an uplift. It's very, very light. You pick it up next to an Acura scale manor, and it's like picking up a feather.
Buffets, kitchens, and restaurants.
I was about to mention those to join with your full break. Why is there no catering vehicles? Great Western. You've got them for Southern, LMS.
They
even
were
got a buffet
staple.
car.
I'm going to say the
absolute staple on mainline routes. So why aren't they there?
Collet coach I bought for Colesford was a 12-wheel restaurant.
Yeah, we can't even get a buffet for Great Western.
No.
Morning, Matt. 3801 and some NSWGR 12-wheel passenger coaches to go with Flying Scotsman. We got through an entire stream without mentioning it.
Well,
and you had to go and do it.
It did run out of Southall for a while in preservation. So does that make it a Western Region loco? Just to try and stick the
knife. Yeah, I know, Dan. They're mainline coach. I know.
I pissed off Phil. Right. Okay, so while we're wrapping this up, yes, I know we've butchered Great Western modelling, but I really apologise to every single one of you. But I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to you lot, and I enjoy listening to all of you guys telling us off for things. So I promise next time I'll do better. We have to do Great Western modelling again. We'll get Dan on to tell us how wrong we all are about something. He can do that. He can show off his library of Great Western knowledge. Matt, do you want to explain to us who this week's shout out is for?
Well, yeah, given we've touched on the Gauge 3, I give a shout out to Eddie Williams of Kippo Models, who makes Mark 1 kits and a number of buildings, including Great Western ones, for your garden railway. And he does Gauge 1 and Gauge 3, and I have seen recently he's been scaling stuff to O gauge. So majority is 3D printed. So Eddie's got a few videos about building some of his kits, and there's a few garden railway running sessions, including his Gauge 3 haul. So,
I need to avoid this, otherwise I'm going to get sucked in.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you are.
Yeah, I never planned to go to do anything with Gauge 1 or 3. And then I met, I went to a certain shop that wasn't so far away from a mentioned GRS. And then after that, I've met Eddie a couple of times, and that was it. So it's well on my radar.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not. No, I can't think about that. So there you are. Head over to Eddie Williams on YouTube. Yeah. Head over to Kippo Models. The website link is in the description below. Just gauge free modeling. It's insane. It's intense.
It is.
Next week we have an exciting announcement for us. So we're talking Scotch Week. So next week is a Scottish modelling week that has been put on by Hilton, proper chuffed, Jack from the Jacobite, and 62D. I want to say, is it 62D? Please forgive me if I'm. But so anyway, there is a week of Scottish railway modelling celebration. So lots of posts going out. 1 or 2 videos will be going out. I know we just had the Scottish railway modelling festival, so look out for that. We'll be having a chat with Jack and Hilton next week. So yeah, come and have a chat with us.
It's 62C
because I'm going to be bothering Hilton about the one pannier that was in Scotland. The entire stream.
Lots of them built up there.
I believe one ventured its way to Scotland.
Yeah, one ventured its way. But didn't North British build a lot of panniers?
Yeah, I think so.
They did.
But we'll get into that. That. How long will this year's be? We'll find out next week. I've got some details that I need to iron out with the both of them.
Okay.
Yes, it will probably get mentioned. So yeah, come and check us out next week. We'll be having a chat with them. But really looking forward to having Hilt back on the stream after a long hiatus from not only the stream but also from YouTube as well. So maybe we'll get some insights into what he's been up to as well. Other than that, no meme this week. Just a thank you very much for everybody for joining us, as always. Remember, question of the month link will be in the description in a few moments. We'll get it out on Discord as well. Send us your responses and we'll get those read out at the end of June. Lats, anything else to comment? Any additional bits?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been a nice stream. It's been a bit of everything, nice and informal, nice and chilled. Looked at some Great Western, and in around about 3 months time ish, we'll do LMS.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for LMS for a bit.
Yeah, we try and only do it once a quarter.
I say sorry, but yeah,
busy
I'm not
man.
Coming back for that one. Don't worry.
No, I'm hoping on that one. I'm hoping Rob will come and join me on that one.
My thoughts exactly, Max. My thoughts exactly.
I don't mind LMS.
No, God, here we go.
You back, Charlie, and we'll get Rob in as well because he obviously used to live in Rugby.
No, I veto this. No, it's no Southern. No. Which is why
this
we're
where you
leaving
turn
it to
around and
last.
say Max is wrong? Or you're not going that far?
No. He's not wrong in that sense. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Watch out for myself, Hilton, and Jack next week. And we've been the Shunting Yard. Charlie, where can people find you, mate?
People can find me on Instagram and YouTube as Houston Model Railway.
Go. Matt, what about you?
So I am Matt's Maritime Rail on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads.
Threads? Wait, we haven't mentioned Threads before.
Oh, it just pops up on my
do it.
So wants to join you on Threads.
Very occasionally. Very occasionally. You might get it once a month.
And you can find me at _Little Western on Instagram, and then just search for the Little Western Railway on YouTube, Facebook, Model Train Media as well. We are also Shunting Yard is also on the Model Train Media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Go check us out on all those spaces. I am trying to keep them updated as often as possible, so we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in. Absolute pleasure as always. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oh. No, I don't want to leave. No, I don't want to leave. I pushed the wrong button, guys. There you go. Bye.